Boom. Alright, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about a metaverse stock that is popping off right now. And that stock, as you already know, is Matterport, or ticker symbol MTTR. Now, of course, we are going to be taking a look at Matterport on the chart today, talking some technicals. I'll let you guys know where I personally see Matterport going over the coming weeks in terms of upside price targets as we head into the new month of April. But before we dive into the charts, I figured it would be important to remind ourselves of why Matterport isn't only appealing from a short-term technical perspective, but from a longer-term fundamental perspective as well. So we'll take a look at their website, remind ourselves of what this company actually does, again, to reinforce our long-term fundamental bullish sentiment, but the short-term is still looking promising as well. So we will be touching on this article just released today, titled "Why is Matterport Stock Up Today?" by Investor Place. Subtitle: Cathy Wood, the queen of the moonshot, sees Matterport as a key metaverse play, and she's not the only one. Okay, raise your hands, kids. Okay, so we'll cover this. We will take a look at their website, and then we'll close out the video by talking price action, talking upside price targets as we head into April. But before we do that, you guys, please give the video a like because it's greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to follow the journey as we cover more exciting revolutionary stocks like Matterport. You guys know we cover so many different sectors, and this is one that I'm especially excited about right now. Those of you who have been around would definitely know that the metaverse is the trend of 2022, and I do think that that trend will obviously continue to appreciate because there's a lot of year left. So again, subscribe to the channel if for some reason you're not already. And little unusual shout out, this Waves hat just came in. This is Waves in kanji. So there are 100 of these available. I'll drop that link down below. First come, first serve. If you're interested, sick. If not, no worries at all. Let's dive into some Matterport talk. So meet the world's leading spatial data platform. Take your buildings online with Matterport to design, build, promote, and manage your most valuable assets at your fingertips. So I'm sure if, like myself, for any of you who have been house hunting lately or house hunting over the past year, I personally use Redfin, and when you go look at these real estate websites, they give you the option to do a 3D virtual tour. And that's actually where I was first turned on to Matterport, because I was kind of a customer, I was a user prior to being an investor. And once I saw the product itself, once I did some due diligence, that's when I was like, all right, I got to jump on board. And it just so happened that the stock freaking exploded as soon as this thing went public. Okay, so anyway, Matterport, you can see in this little graphic above my dome, that's what they do, is 3D spatial imagery. Okay, so you can do three-dimensional tours of whatever it is, office buildings, like you saw, like there was, what was that, like Egypt or something. So you can do history tours, you can do museum tours, you can do again, the biggest use case right now, in my opinion, especially with the housing market that we're in, is 3D tours of houses that you're interested in potentially buying. So very, very cool here. Metaverse, obviously the metaverse play is, if you're throwing on VR, if you're throwing on an Oculus, and the rendering capability of Matterport is this, I mean, is this defined and this, just this detailed and this impressive, that is, that's great news for when it comes to not just being in like Decentraland or Sandbox and these kind of Minecraft looking games, but when it comes to merging reality and kind of real world graphics and the way you see things in reality into the digital realm. Okay, so that's pretty much that. I recommend you guys go to Matterport for yourself. Work is changing. We are leading, this is their own words, we are leading the digital transformation of the built world, changing how homes are bought and sold. Retail stores are planned out, hotel vacation homes are marketed, facilities are managed or designed, and construction projects are completed. So again, you guys, this is a very young company, and this is still kind of abstract, but the technology is there. Obviously, when you look at this, like just watching this slide over and over again as I've been recording the intro to this video, is extremely impressive. They're obviously competent at what they're doing. So at this point, it's just a matter of executing. And really, it's just a matter of time and expansion, and really other players in legacy realms like real estate, like commercial construction, etc., kind of adopting to the times. Matterport is ahead of the game. It's just going to take this legacy infrastructure more time to catch up, right? Because that's again, cruise ship turning on a dime. That's not how it works. It takes things time. So Matterport, very obvious to me that this is going to be a very significant company, a very relevant company as we move into the future of, once again, this digital, a world that's becoming increasingly digitized. But right now, still early days, so keep that in mind, but the excitement is most definitely there. Look at the price action today. Closing today, Taco Tuesday, was a hot day for Matterport, up almost 18% on closing. We are in a technical breakout, so we will talk some short-term price action. But again, let's educate ourselves on what catalyzes this move to the upside, and it involves the founder of the ARK Innovation Fund. That is Miss Cathy Wood. So shout out to Cathy, really giving the portfolio a pump today. So since the beginning of the week, spatial data and computing company Matterport has been on a winning streak. Touted for its metaverse applications, MTTR has attracted the attention of Cathy Wood as well. Yesterday, one of the renowned investors exchange traded funds, or ETFs, took a position in the company. That large investment has set MTTR stock soaring. Now investors are watching keenly. This news may signal a turning point in its market trajectory. Specifically, Wood gained exposure to MTTR through stock through ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, or arkk. As Markets Insider reports, the fund invested $4.26 million in Matterport, netting a total of 534,000 shares. That makes up 0.25% of the fund's assets. So it's not necessarily a very significant position size, but it's a sign of, again, it's a sign of the times. If an investor with a track record as strong and an investor just as reputable and respected as Miss Cathy Woods, this is obviously a good sign. And I don't personally agree with everything Cathy Woods says, but that's all right. And the reality is, a lot of people do. You watch her YouTube videos, you watch those little videos she makes, those monthly updates or whatever she does, those things pop off. And in reality, when it comes to these hyper-growth sectors, regardless of how fundamentally and operationally capable they are, it really matters about how many eyeballs are on this stock and how much volume and how much momentum you can get into these small cap stocks, because ultimately, the smaller the market cap, the less capital inflow it takes to appreciate the value of the individual share price. And when you get floods of retail investors coming in, it's not difficult to shoot up a stock like Matterport. And again, this thing has currently a $2.6 billion market cap. We all know what happened a few months back during that crazy November-December rally. I guess November, it really cut on December 1st, but Matterport rallied to a high of 38, like 38 bucks. And since then, we have seen that 85% correction. And there, again, from a technical perspective, from a fundamental perspective, there are multiple reasons that I do believe Matterport's bottom is in. We'll cover a few of those today, but again, I will definitely be covering Matterport more over the future. So again, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. Right down, go subscribe. It's just right there. So click that red button. Click that red button. Make it gray. There we go. So subscribe if for some reason you're not already. Once again, a little call to action right there. And last but not least, before we dive into the charts, one more call to action. This is from this morning's newsletter. Sent it out this morning. I was pumped. Today was a massive day. If we thought yesterday was big, today was massive. So many of the companies that have seen, and this applies, the reason I want to read this is not just to plug the newsletter, of course, but because this applies to so many companies, not just Matterport, but again, Robinhood, SoFi, Vuzix, many names that have gotten unnecessarily beaten down. So many of the companies that have seen 50, 60, 70+% corrections, I mean 85% in Matterport's case, from their 2021 highs definitely did deserve a correction. But the crash level lows we've seen over the past month are difficult to justify from a fundamental perspective. It's about time we see this type of price action. From a trading perspective, we played yesterday pretty damn perfectly. Took profits from crypto calls and put them into Matterport and SoFi calls. Couldn't have panned out more beautifully. So obviously Matterport calls and SoFi calls absolutely crushed it today. SoFi's up 10%, Matterport up almost 18%. Again, when you're trading calls, the returns you get are exponential. If you just hold these stocks, which I do as well, those returns are great. But when you hold calls, when you hold call options on days where stocks see moves like this, that's life-changing wealth created right there, okay? So if you guys want to know exactly how I'm personally trading Matterport, SoFi, all of these hyper-growth revolutionary stocks that we talk about around here all the time, and you want one of these bad boys, one of my email newsletters in your inbox every single trading day during market hours, along with, again, that complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, which is updated every trading day as well, that's going to be the first link down below. Join the hundreds of other real ones, of other Waves fam OGs in signing up for this. If you're interested, once again, that's going to be the first link down below. 15 bucks a month, 40 bucks for every 3 months. Completely up to you. I do my best to make that worth your hard-earned money, and I truly believe it is. But at the end of the day, it's only always your call. So go check it out if you're interested. If not, once again, appreciate you watching this video right here, right now. Let's talk some technicals to close out the video. Okay, so zooming out real quick, right? Matterport. There's a lot of things to talk about here. So first of all, Matterport. It's important to understand that Matterport did not just IPO, they did SPAC. So when you're involved in a SPAC merger, special purpose acquisition company, SPAC merger, again, this is hot. A lot of companies have done this, particularly some EV companies that, in my opinion, have gotten a little extended in terms of valuation. I'm not going to name names, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Regardless, the SPAC merger, you always have to be a little careful when it comes to the valuation out the gates, because it's not investment bankers who are breaking down the company's financial, like the financial assets, revenue, EBITDA, etc., and then deeming them a fair valuation. It's kind of just these two companies that get together, again, the special purpose acquisition company, the SPAC, whatever it may be, that acquisition company itself, and Matterport's kind of just shaking hands and agreeing on a valuation, and then the market can decide from there. But these guys SPAC'd at the perfect time, because that led into that crazy metaverse rally that we saw over the course of like late October going into November, and finally, again, that bubble popping in December. But Matterport obviously saw a lot of traction during that time, because it is considered a metaverse stock, and we were seeing that first wave of that metaverse rally. But come December 1st, when the entirety, again, Decentraland, Sandbox, Render Token, a lot of these metaverse plays ended up popping, and we saw that fall off the cliff, along with a lot of other growth stocks in general, okay? So Matterport, once again, saw a high of almost $38. Since then, we retraced to a low. Here, the low was set in on February 23rd, just about a month ago, at $5.50, representing an 85% correction from that high. And again, this high was definitely overinflated. This was hype, this was emotion, this was mania, and again, that's a lot of what we saw in 2021. But this 85% correction, the fact that we've been trading sideways for such a long time, I mean, these lows over here, 550, is definitely too low for Matterport given their earnings. I'm not going to go into their recent earnings call in this video, but I recommend you guys go, if you're interested in trading or investing in Matterport, of course, go look at that earnings call for yourself, because their numbers and their projections were actually extremely impressive. But for a company as again, a hyper growth company that is as competent and expansive as Matterport, with such a bright future ahead of it, the fact that it traded at these levels right here are unjustified. Even that it's been range trading this low is just a sign of the fact that so many retail investors have gotten cleaned and honestly scared out of the market. But I just said this actually in the newsletter this morning. Where is it? I want to read this, because this is important. The wins are always deserved. Tough times separate the strong from the weak, and the winners from the losers. If you're still standing here today, you are a winner. Okay, so again, this past couple of months have been very trying for growth investors, for crypto investors. But those who can withstand the storm, those who can accept the losses, and again, I've been through, this is kind of my game. I trade growth sectors like this. Again, I bought Riot Blockchain in 2017. I bought Ether at 36 bucks back in 2017 as well. I've been through the ringer, and it's important to do that. If you want to be in this game for a long time, it's important for you to make money and lose that money. Obviously, every cycle you go through, you want to make increasingly more and lose increasingly less. But the thing is, like, you need those calluses. You need to be smacked in the face sometimes, and you need your ego checked, especially if you're a younger investor. But little tangent aside, little PSA aside, Matterport again did get unrightfully beaten down, and it's about time we see this type of price action once again. As I've been saying, or as I just said, we were range trading for a while, and that's what really made me really turned me on to Matterport in this area specifically right here. We've been trading virtually sideways for the better part of 2 months now, and what I like to see over the course of the past few weeks, that is that on down days, Matterport wouldn't see as much downside as plays like Robinhood, SoFi, Vuzix, a lot of other hyper growth sectors. It would only be down 1-2% when a lot of names were down 4 or 5%. And that is really a sign that this thing is bottoming out, that the despair phase is in, and that a reversion to the mean is in the cards. And now we are in technical breakout mode on a short term. From a short term perspective, was eyeballing this just last week, just Friday, I think. We based out right here, textbook series of higher highs and higher lows. Matterport was one of the largest positions, call positions in my portfolio. So I'm very glad that what we saw today happened to pan out. But again, Cathy Woods did light a little spark to fuel that flame. But from a technical perspective, things were looking great. Volume was picking up. We were in a very, very clean ascending channel, setting a series of short-term higher highs and higher lows. And today that did pay off. Beat me to the punch really with this one. And we did close the day, which I love to see. Closed a 4-hour, closed the day above the line of resistance on this ascending channel right here. And Matterport is officially in breakout mode now. You guys can see my upside price targets right here. This is my first target, which I think will be hit over the coming over the next maybe I'll say early April. This is my price target, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this achieved by late April going into the month of May. Okay, so short to medium term price target is going to be about $13, just to sum it up. Longer medium, we'll say medium term price targets, maybe branching into longer term for some of you newer traders. Medium to longer term price target, again, going into May, is going to be about $16.50. Okay, the reason for that is because these are previous areas of support and resistance. Like every other chart, just look for levels that have acted as ceilings and floors historically. Okay, so right here, when right after Matterport successfully SPAC'd, we were range trading in this area, and after that we saw that mania. Okay, so there's a lot of emotion involved here, and of course these will come into play as well. Again, you guys, just looking at some of these levels, like this is a level right here. We can get another one. Just looking at, again, right here, there's another level, ceiling and floor, and just do that on the way up. And that's likely where, in the case that we do see short-term corrections on this rally to the upside, that's where they will happen. Okay, so again, short term, this is pretty much for this just dump off of a cliff. This is the last known area of prior support, and that's right after their SPAC IPO. So that is going to be my initial price target. I honestly don't think that Matterport will have an issue at all getting to this level. And once again, that is right under $13 where that SPAC IPO kicked off. Okay, or I mean, at least around there from the trading view perspective. That's actually the low following that SPAC IPO. Okay, so point is, even if we don't go straight up, even if when you guys are watching this, because we're up 20% the day I recorded this, the next day, maybe we're down a few percent, maybe we're correcting. But ultimately, when it comes to 3-4 days out, a week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, I'm very, very confident in the fact, especially after this cosign from Cathy Woods, that Matterport will see continued upside. And I'm very excited to see where this thing goes and to see how these calls print. Okay, so once again, if you want to know how I'm trading Matterport, if you want to know when I take profits, what I put those profits into when it comes to other stocks that I'm excited about, first link down below. $15 a month. Again, $40 for every 3 months. Check it out. If you don't like it, just unsubscribe. It's that easy. But appreciate it if you check it out. And again, Waves kanji hats. There are only 100 pieces of these bad boys. So if you want one, go hit it up because these are going to go fast. All these links are going to be down in the description box below. I appreciate you guys watching, and also let me know in the comments what your favorite metaverse. There's so many Matterport metaverse actually. The name's very cohesive, but let me know what your favorite metaverse stock is right now, and let me know if you were holding a bag of Matterport going in today, because if you were, cheers to that, and yeah, celebrate down in the comments. So I'll catch you guys downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.